Hello folks, Boogeyman here. I'll present the mic as usually, containing the modern prep tests versus matches for Grand Prix Copenhagen. And today to commentate post factum and bring it up to you guys, I chose one of the more, I don't know, let's say interactive and challenging and let's say more balanced matchups. Let's put it this way, balanced. That's Black White Eldrazi Taxes versus John's Death Shadow. Well, it's basically AJundi, um, technically, even though the whole White Splash is just about like Ranger of Eos, Lingering Souls, and sometimes some spice like Fury Justice, which is not in this deck though. But yeah, those are pretty damn good tools anyway. The Texas deck actually has a pretty decent matchup against Death Shadow, I think, and then against all the random decks. So it's not the Tron version, it's not the band, it's just, kind of a hatebears sort of a deck. So it borrows a lot of stuff from the Greenwood hatebears deck, which is a kind of been common deck archetype for quite some years now in the format. So you'll get to see that. Okay, I think he's thinking whether to keep that hand or not. So just as a reminder, so Black White on the left and this Death Shadow on the right. Yes, I do like to nowadays for some reason to flick cards in my hand upside down. Not because it's natural for retina, I mean for your vision, but I don't know, kind of, makes me less stressful or something. It's my kind of bug that somehow calms me down a little bit. So, alright, let's get it started in here. I think you'll figure it out better. So yeah, here's the bet on whether to keep his starting 7 goes into 6. Well, he had some lands, he had some action, but mostly just 3 drops, which are not gonna be online anytime soon. I don't want to just cast out Strangler, even though it's kind of bad in this matchup, but there could be some turns when you can get value out of it in this matchup. Yeah, so he's mulling into something a bit more proactive, and yeah, I'm pretty bad at mulliganing. I mean, I can certainly figure out what hands not to keep in terms of that, then not getting anywhere. You just can't do anything. So let's say with decks like Dredge, even in Modern, I can recognize that okay, you need certain pieces for your starting hand. But yeah, probably with a deck like Black White's Taxes or just pretty much any Eldrazi deck, I'll be not the best one to mull again, so I hope I will improve in that regard eventually. Okay, just a courtyard black with fast land from Texas and then Marshlands into Untapped Tomb. So there's probably some discard spell coming up. And that actually makes the Death Shadow deck so kind of broken is that, well, you clear the path with the early discard spells, and you always have something to do turn 1, turn 2, no matter what your opponent does. So unlike traditional Jund, where, well, you will keep your hands with removal, nowadays those balls are really not doing a whole lot. Things like that. Okay. Yeah, that was a gamble. I don't know what he scried and how he scried it. Just don't remember it here. But yeah, triples color in the path. So he basically has an answer to my fast Goifer Shadow, but Yeah, so he basically needs to draw second land ASAP. I think the correct thing to do is just to take path here first. Because he has like triple scholar, but once I draw like more, yeah, I should be at 15, yeah. Because fetch shock into C's, yeah. If I draw more discard, then probably the extra scholars are coming out. Um, yeah, this is kind of obvious here. Just hope that I don't draw more removal. Push is like so much better right now nowadays than Bolt. It's kind of hilarious. Well, I guess overall push is just like better for modern. Not per se it's a better card, but yeah. Of course you still have burn in the format. Okay, so I have a few options here what to do. I believe that's before sideboard. Going down to 12 here, but this is what the deck wants to do anyway. The thing is that I need to get control of the game in the meantime as well, and not just, you know, abuse my life total. Right, even though I can pretty much fetch anything, but, yeah, I need all the colors, and then, fetching basics here. Well, it's not a thing just yet. Plus, before I get to Delirium, I might wanna cash in Traverse for a basic. Just to switch on Future, Traverse, Dolving World. Okay, Inquisition coming down here. Doesn't matter what I keep untapped here, there are no bolts in the deck anyway. Right, so I look at Displacer into his colors. Displacer is far from being a thing. Plus he needs to draw a third land. Yeah, just the less his colors, the better, I guess. Okay, here's a 1-1 shadow, because like why not? He doesn't have removal now, and if he decides to draw a path and cash it in on this shadow, I actually don't really mind it that much. Taking into from Scholar makes my shadow also bigger. Now I can actually block all those colors. I don't have Delirium, so he probably just takes the Goif here, I think. I'm just 2 card taps now in the grave. Yeah. But the Shadow now is a free, so it basically means that he's not really attacking anytime soon unless he draws something ridiculous. I believe there are still some modern matches from the previous playtest session, because this one belongs to another one where, yeah, a bunch of matchups were, a bunch of decks were tested up against the Shadow aggro. So here's another Shadow. I can make them grow big, but I don't need to do that quite just yet. And of course there's an argument to just wait on this Traverse, but then again, well, because it's not an instance of sorcery, so yeah, I don't know. On the other hand, it cleans up the deck. If I Traverse here, then fetch up the Shark, stuff like this. Well, I decide to wait on it. Because right now it's not really accomplishing much. Well, of course I am gonna, you know, fetch in response to Leonine Arbiter. I don't know what I'm supposed to get in here. Just fetching out a 9, so The shadows are already 4/4s. I don't think I need to get really greedy here. It kinda depends, but then if I draw any removal, I unlock this color with the push underneath it. Then unlock the other color with the Goth. So yeah. Um, and then I have actually good attacks. It's not like he's really gonna, recover from that spot. Blackwood doesn't really have reach. No haste creatures. There could be some Aver Vile stuff going on. But, well, there is a chance that they're not even in this build. I mean, the Vials. So yeah, there's no reach. There are no swords. Nothing like that. It's pretty fair. I don't know why I traverse here. Just to thin the deck, maybe. Yeah. The point is that also, yeah, even though right now it's 2 card types, but if I unlock, yeah, if I unlock this color with the push, then yeah, 3 card types, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm afraid of this card here, but what should that be? Well, Lily will be a thing here, but then probably should have kept it to discard 2 sudden Lily here or something. He's still screwed, he can't really attack. There's a chance I could go greedy here, sort of. Because what can he do here? Okay, cycling the Wrath instead of hardcasting it maybe is a misplay here. But I have so many good draws that even though I could have just hardcast the Street Rave here, and make sure that I can actually safely attack. So I also probably should have. No, now I can't attack because, well, 1 path and that's it. So, but I could have recognized the point that, well, I know if I attack with both, then Street Rave is not enough. If he draws a path, so yeah. But then I probably was able to attack Witless with 1 shadow, which he just, well, which he can champ with the Arbiter at this point, I guess. I'm not sure if I paid extra 2 for the first Traverse. I don't remember. Well, it didn't. It didn't really matter. Yeah, the guff is pretty big here. So, yeah. He really needs to draw something good here. Well, still no 3rd land for him, so that Displacer is not getting out of here. Well, let's test the waters. A bunch of 3 and 4 drops. Nothing is really super scary. I take Strangler, well, because that at least does something. Possibly should have taken the Flicker Wisp, maybe, just because the flyer that I can't block. Yeah, smashing on with the Goif. Or not. That's pretty risky actually here. Well, Windpipe doesn't actually do it for him. Shadows now are 8/8. Yeah, scoops it up. I'm getting screwed a bit. Well, I also get like pretty bad draws. I mean, flooded, no removal. So yeah. Of course he gets screwed, but he still like was screwed on 2, not on 1. That's a thing. But Blackwood has so many free drops, so that sometimes you kinda wish you could have played some Mana Dorks or some way to speed this up. So yeah, Vial is cool to be able to actually cast 2 spells per turn. Just don't remember where Vial is in this build at all. So this Kozilek's their turn. is the slots of like potential anger of the gods, things like that. So extra push coming in, Maelstrom Pulse coming in. Return actually kills quite a few things from him. Of course, anger would have been much better. Hits displacer at least, compared to return. Well, bubbles are important for traverse and so on, but you have to cut something. Well, I'm not bringing in too many cards. The Last Hope Lily, well, doesn't hit too many stuff, but like he's an aggro deck and it still returns me my threats. But at the same time, my threats are gonna get pathed and not just killed. I think there are like fatal pushes in that deck too, just like in the Shadow one. But the Lily of the Whale is probably better than the Last Hope. So these are my options. But yeah, everything else is just not that amazing. Could actually board in Souls and Ranger. The game doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, like if we're gonna find the resources game, then in that kind of setup, Ranger plus Souls are good because we'll get to find my shadows and stuff like that. Um, yeah, and Souls are good against him, I think, because that's a lot of like blocking power. Could take out more stuff. Just trimming the deck a little bit, which is a dangerous thing to do. But I think the upside is good enough. Kolgan's command is sick against him because it kills his colors and artifacts and also kills another creature on board. Or you can do, of course, some other things, but it's nice to throw one removal at instant speed if you need it. Yeah, even though Ranger and Souls are pretty good, but I think, well, you'll see, but I probably shouldn't have boarded that in. Because I know that he has Fulminators in the board, I think, in that Texas deck. If not that, then Quarters and maybe Edge, combined with Arbiter, things like that. Mind Sensor, yeah, there are things. There certainly are things that matter. There certainly are things. Actually, this Texas deck reminded me about Mind Sensor. I don't know, like my sideboard for Absent Company right now is pretty damn dense. But maybe I should play Mind Sensor over Revoker. Maybe try to slice it in over something else. Just didn't want to dedicate too many sideboard slots for all the Fulminators, so that's why there's Magus of the Moon in the sideboard of that deck. But yeah, Fetches, Traverse, Ranger. Yeah, just as a one of Mind Sensor. Wouldn't hurt it, also all the big mana decks and so on. Don't think I'd be siding it in against Eldrazi, but it's definitely something I'll side in against normal Tron and Valakut decks. So yeah, should probably think about it. But then again, okay, like Revoker, yeah, too many good targets, I guess. It's not just Karn or Ugin. There are a few things. Switching off Endbringer from Eldrazi is probably good enough too. I'm not sure if I should decided it in against Bant Eldrazi
I mean, all of that is all of those considerations are true also for this black-white build as well. Um, in terms of where you side in Mind Sensor. I'm not sure though. No, it's not Mind Sensor, it's the Revoker thing. There is a chance that the black-white also plays Revoker. Or at least it can. It's a good option, I think. Especially off like Aver Vial or something. Because Abzan can company out or cord out Revoker. Black-white can only vial it out. Shambling Land, Bubble Fetch. Oh, I think here I punted like a crazy person. Yeah, because Bubble is at his upkeep, that means I basically passed the turn. Yeah, that was a punt. I think I had a 1-mana discard spell in my hand. I don't know why I didn't fire it. I had a push. But yeah, I should have probably just fought says him. Because this damn thing called Rest in Peace. Which is not like really annoying right now, but it switches off Traverse, so that's actually a thing. That is actually a thing. And because you can't really play Rest in Peace in Ebsen, so yeah, Mind Sensor makes a lot more sense now to me. But yeah, by no means Rest in Peace is killing the Death Shadow deck. Plus you do have decays in the pulse, so yeah. You have ways to get rid of it, apart from this card. And the Shadow's still gonna do its thing, for example. Well, okay, it also kills the Lingering Souls. Right. So it also does that. Which is a thing. It's still a thing. But because of all the hate bears from Black-White, I don't think Shadow players should bring in the White Splash in, even though it's kinda good, but it's not worth the risk, I think. It's just not worth the risk. How is it? I thought says the way Displacer? Huh. I don't know why. I guess I just didn't want to, him getting the tempo, because I think I was on the Shadow plan here. I'm just thinking which second land to take over here. Yeah. Fetching into a shock, I think. Inquisition gets rid of another Displacer. I think he's just left with Alliance and Brutality, things that don't really matter. Well, Brutality can still do some things here. But it's not amazing by any means. Here's another Shambling and the second Rest in Peace, which is also pretty unexciting in here. And this also would be pretty hilarious if I just managed to draw the Maelstrom Pulse. But yeah, I think Lily's gonna do some work here. And I'm going pretty low on life right now. Get the Shrine. Okay, I'm actually going quite low on life here. Yeah, I have the Shrine out, so my White Splash is actually online, but you'll see it, You shall see it. I guess my plan was just to Lily and discard Souls or something. Oh no, that doesn't work. But getting Lily out is kind of important, but I should have, played around stuff. Oh no, I didn't have Souls in my hand. I had some removal and Ranger, which I was about to cast next turn. And that would have been pretty damn good, but it's not gonna happen. Yeah, also with that fetch last turn, it was correct to not fetch a basic because of the Ghost Quarters. Yeah, now the only white source of mana is gone. Get a basic, but that's not quite the same. I don't know. Sometimes feel like a singleton life from the long wouldn't be that bad in this deck, and then I don't know, add in a few extra synergies to that. But yeah, at least I have Lilian on board, which his deck probably will have troubles dealing with. Upticking Lily to 5. He responds by just gaining some life off of the alliance. Discard Ranger at this point, because I can't cast any white cards this game anymore. So, I don't know. On one hand, Live from Dome is kinda interesting, but then again, you can always discard away those cards with Lily and sometimes Brutality and stuff like that. Or just to your opponent discard spells and Lilies. Yeah. Okay, so Shadow plus Traverse hitting in the last basic. Maybe shouldn't have done it, but well, Traverse is no good this game anymore. I don't think I'll draw that singleton Maelstrom pulls that early. Yeah, and then probably it wouldn't. So the Rips probably wouldn't be the target for those. Probably would kill something more impactful that will actually, really impact this game. I'm thinking what to do here. My Shadow is just a 2/2, though. I think I have just one card. I can't really attack into a Shambling Vans, which is 2/3 body. Okay. Oh yeah, he didn't attack. I just took the turn. Attacking here because I have Fatal Push in my hand. Yeah. So I couldn't, attack last time because it was still in sickness. Then I make a big pun over here because I forget about, I don't know, I just basically space out here. Yeah, cool chump blocker. That's, would have been just a fine pitch to Lily. And then, if I just kept more food for Lily, up it a couple more times, and then ultimate it, and then, put all the rips into one pile, he'd probably choose the lands. Yeah, actually that would be a pretty good, distribution. Probably like put, I don't know, say quarter into rips into one pile and the rest into another one. In the meantime, Shadow is just gonna chip away here. He's attempting the blocks here because there's a push coming out. He's not really considering that. Maybe like just demoralized by his own draws as well. My draws have not been that absurd at all. It's just the deck is like this. Just what the Depth Shadows John does. And my draws would have been like way better if not for the rips. My Traverse would actually work here then to get me more threats. Okay, here's a quarter on the stomping ground. Yeah, we're thinking what this actually means for the game. Float threat, because I think I have the Kozilek's Return in my hand, that I don't want to discard just yet, because among other things, well, it gets rid of a bunch of like 2 toughness guys from him, of which there are quite a few. because he can't even like play a Tide Hollow's Color in here into active Lily. Here's a land that fetches a Blood Crypt. That's something maybe that I should be doing now, just because then this attack actually does a whole lot more. I have a jumper for his event if he decides to pressure Lily. So go ahead and jump in front of that. Here's a Eldrazi temple, but that also doesn't really do a whole lot here. That also not very spectacular either. Yeah, it's a very weird game to be fair. To be fair, a very weird game. Didn't expect it to go like this way. So he drew some hate, but not much in terms of, action. So he's been very reactive this game, and that kind of's been punishing him. On the other hand, this active really meant that he was very unlikely to get any real traction here. Yeah. But despite Lily being so impactful in so many games, there's only like 2 of this one and 1 more lasso. So if you're Eldrazi, I don't think you even board the Python Needle for that. Actually, Needle is something I'm thinking that I might be like cutting off. But then again, it's so good against some random decks like Grizzlebrand is just fizzling Barbaridness or just Grizzlebrand so that they can really like go all the way and kill you with just complete setup. Here's a path for Death Shadow. No basics to search because typically those decks just play basic first in the swamp. You don't want a basic plains for sure, even in the sideboard, and then well, basic modern just doesn't do it for you. Also, you don't have like that very many red cards anyway. Especially don't have like even balls, so yeah. At the core, this deck is just black green with very tiny red and very tiny white components. Lily optics because I just don't want to, even at this point, I don't want to just eat her up, yeah. So I want to keep her around. Yeah. Next turn, the plan is to maybe ultimate her and then put the Reaps out, but he drew a Flicker Wisp that will reset her. Still fine. Still fine. Here's gonna be some cute interaction here. Okay, a little reset, but because the permanents left my side, so I get to nuke away the Wisp with the Fatal Push. Revolt it up. Yeah. Now I'm forced to kind of, try to keep it up. Well, I have the key for his next blocker or something. Then okay, he has a Shambling Vans. But would that be enough? Okay, I can decay the Shambling Vans. The Goy doesn't really do anything right now. The yacht should be tapped if that was his land for the turn. You can animate the vents. But I don't know if that's a shrine or a coilless. Yeah. Champ times. Yeah, I guess that was a shrine. In Shockland. Guess I can... Yeah, it's Lingering Souls. I can safely discard them. I can't cast them and I can't flashback them. Yeah. So, yeah, he needs a blocker for the Shadow, but I have a Decay in hand, so, yeah. There is this. There is the game. The Shiragu did his fangs, but I think overall, actually, this Texas deck is actually pretty good. The Shadow overall, it's just the games went kind of in an awkward way. So yeah, there will be a lot more modern coming out your way. Just so happened, even though these days I'm continuing to playtest the format for the GP on paper with teammates, but I recorded quite a few matchups and tapes, so yeah, I'll give you one or two each day basically for a little while now, just in time before you actually pack in for the GP and before you pack in all the cards in the decks. And I do hope I give you enough perspective. So yeah, I shouldn't probably brought in the white cards at all, so just the free cards. Probably should have kept the Lilith Delasco, because he doesn't really have that many ways to deal with it. It even kills stuff like Mind Sensor, Potential Sync Collector, which I think is not that bad in this matchup. Persecution is just mediocre here. Yeah. I don't think it's smart to Sidon Pontiff. It's just that, well, okay, they could have Lingering Souls, but you still have like Sunflowers. Yeah. So yeah, I don't expect a Texas to Sidon Pontiff for Souls, because outside of Souls, Pontiff doesn't do anything. Yeah. And the rest of sideboards in this matchup is pretty obvious for Texas. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe, or check the links in the description below. Leave any feedback in the comment section below. I'll see you guys tomorrow, probably with more tapes, more modern matchups. Hopefully I'll have time to, test a bit of standard, because there are showdowns, there's GP Amsterdam, there are PPTQs, so it's kind of interesting, and the format gives a lot of space for creativity. So yeah, until the next sale, goodbye folks.